Hi guys, I'm back with another video. So the WWE Elimination Chamber for 2021 just ended, and I've got all my reactions right here. So let's get started. Let's not waste any time. So the first match is a pre-show match. It's a fatal four-way. Mustafa Ali versus Elias versus Ricochet versus John Morrison. Now, why is this fatal four-way match happening? Well, this match is supposed to replace Keith Lee, who got injured 2 weeks ago by Bobby Lashley. So they replaced him. And I got this match right. I picked the two who I thought was going to win. I picked Elias and John Morrison. And winner of the Fatal 4-Way match was John Morrison. So John Morrison replaced Keith Lee in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Which, that's the only match I got wrong of the night. I got 5 out of the 6 matches correct. But there was a very shocking ending that I just saw at the end of Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now, I know the real reason why Keith Lee was not in the match. It wasn't because he did get attacked by Bobby Lashley 2 weeks ago, but that's not the reason why he was not in the match. The real reason why he was out of the match was because he just recently got engaged to Mia Yim, and a week before they got engaged, Mia Yim tested positive for coronavirus. So I suppose that Keith Lee had to go into quarantine due to COVID, and that's why he wasn't in this match. That's the real reason why he wasn't in the match. It wasn't because Bobby Lashley attacked him 2 weeks ago. It was because he was in contact with his soon-to-be wife, Mia Yim, who is named Reckoning, and she's with Retribution. I just wanted to point that out really quick. That's the real reason, but, WWE has to do something to write it off to make it seem like he's out for the storyline or whatever. The second match of the night was the Elimination Chamber match of the WWE Universal Championship match later in the night, which was not true, but you will realize this here in a minute. Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus King Corbin versus Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. The winner of the match was Daniel Bryan, and he was one of the first two to start the match. It was him and Cesaro. He was very beaten down by the end of the match, and he did injure his knee during the match. And the third match is the singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Daniel Bryan. That match came right after the Elimination Chamber, and winner and still Universal Champion Roman Reigns. The match was very disappointing. The match was only about around 5 minutes long. The fourth match of the night is a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Bobby Lashley with MVP versus John Morrison versus Riddle. Winner and new United States Champion Riddle. The fifth match of the night is a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Winner and still WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton versus Sheamus versus Kofi Kingston. Winner and still WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. Now, what is the surprise I'm going to talk about? Well, you may not want to watch this part because it spoils everything for the pay-per-view. I mean, I already spoiled a bunch of information for you if you didn't watch the Elimination Chamber yet. But if you did watch it, you probably already know what I'm talking about. Well, what happened? Well, Drew McIntyre, he won the match. He won the Elimination Chamber. I thought the pay-per-view was over. But sometimes pay-per-views are not over. So what happened? So, before the Elimination Chamber match, and The Miz and MVP were talking to each other. Okay? They were talking to each other. I said, what is this about? And guess what happens? Bobby Lashley comes out and beats up Drew McIntyre after a grueling Elimination Chamber match. He beats him down. He does everything. And guess who comes out? The Miz comes out and cashes the Money in the Bank briefcase, which I'm happy they finally took that shit off of him. It felt like that. Next time they do the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, they better seriously figure out who they want as the Money in the Bank briefcase winner ahead of time. Not like this year. This year was way too long for the Money in the Bank. It wasn't like the Seth Rollins thing where I knew that he would catch it in WrestleMania, but The Miz, the Otis, The Miz, them holding it for too long, that was really stupid. But anyway, what happened? The Miz, he cashed in on Drew McIntyre. He did his signature move. He did his finisher. He wins, and he's the new WWE champion. And he won back the WWE championship, which he hasn't won in about 10 years. Because he actually won the WWE championship the same way 10 years ago in 2010. He won it. He won the WWE championship by cashing on Randy Orton. And he held it for like a couple months. He held it into 2011. He hasn't won the title since. Now he's finally won back in Money in the Briefcase cash in. So, what do I think is the match of the night? Well, that is the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship match. I thought it was a really good match. And I also thought the second Elimination Chamber match was very good. But the ending of it was very disappointing. What is the underrated match of the night? There is no underrated match, really. I don't have an underrated match of the night. What is the overrated match of the night? That would be the Universal Championship match. That match just really disappointed me. That match was about 5 minutes long. It just was Roman Reigns destroying Daniel Bryan, which Daniel Bryan was already destroyed as it is after the Elimination Chamber match. Plus, I already knew that Roman Reigns was going to win the match anyways. What was the justice? Well, the justice was Edge speared Roman Reigns, confirming that Roman Reigns will be facing Edge at WrestleMania, which was confirmed later in the night. That's what made it less of a disappointment, but it was still a disappointment either way. And that was the overrated match of the night. What did I think of this pay-per-view? It was a solid pay-per-view. It's not the greatest pay-per-view. I mean, the shock ending of the pay-per-view is probably what's going to make people watch Monday Night Raw the next night with The Miz winning the WWE Championship after 10 years. But that's it. I mean, everything else was pretty solid information that I already knew was going to happen. And I got 5 out of 6 matches correct, so I did pretty good. I even filled in the holes correctly, so yeah. So, what did you guys think of my predictions and reactions for WWE Elimination Chamber 2021? And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, period.